Welcome to Pets in Paradise TV, the show that explores the relationship between humans and animals in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, Hawaii. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour. Obesity is a big problem, and it's estimated that Americans alone spend over $60 billion annually on ways to lose weight. But being overweight is also a problem with man's best friend. We'll find out how Lockie managed to lose some pounds. We'll check out a real shaggy dog, and it's all about the breed. Then, when the sun goes down, some people are just getting started at work. We'll find out what life is like overnight at an animal hospital. It's all just ahead.
I'm Allie.
I'm Mike.
And we help dogs lose weight. This is Lonnie, and she has had Lucky from a puppy, about 4 years old now, and her husband passed away and left her with what was a little puppy who grew into this mammoth pit bull.
Lockie is a Great Dane Bull, which is a mix between an American Pit Bull Terrier and a Great Dane. A healthy weight for this breed is in the 80-pound range, but he's pushed the scales to about 120 pounds.
It's very difficult for me to walk him because he's pulling me all over the place, and one time walk with him and then he pulled me and I couldn't hold him because he's big.
We are working to bring him back down into the 80s, and the weight loss boot camp, our 5-day intensive exercise and weight program, is aimed to bring him back into his 80-pound happy range where he can be a healthy, fit dog again.
When Ellie took him to the boot camp, I was so excited, I was so nervous. I said, this is the first time that he's going to part from me. I've never been away from me for 4 years, so I was kind of worried at that time, very excited. So when she sent me this picture, he was swimming in the ocean, and he looked so happy.
Obesity rates in pets are increasing nationwide. Studies show that more than 54% of dogs are obese, which leads to other health problems, such as arthritis, diabetes, cancer, and ultimately impacts their lifespan.
Today is day one for Lucky's weight loss boot camp, and today he weighs in at 119.5 pounds. Yeah, our work is really cut out with Lucky.
Our policy is to just try to keep the dog moving all the time and have fun and sell it to the dog as a fun activity. We just do activities all day long with them. One of our favorite places to take the dogs is the sandbar. It's a great place. We can let them off the leash even if we don't know them that well because they're in a confined area. There's really nowhere they can go to.
It's a very low impact, high resistance where the dogs are walking generally chest deep water. We do jogging, walking, we throw toys between us, so it's a really massive workout. Our plan for Lucky is to bring his weight from 120 pounds down into the 80 range. He is fed and cooked food, which is not appropriate for a dog, like grilled cheese sandwiches.
But when he returns home, he returns to his old habits.
He used to go to the kitchen and smell, and then wait until I give him. Otherwise, he just sit there and just stay there. Yeah, he loves food, yeah.
Just like weight loss for humans, 90% is what you eat, and Lockie is definitely breaking his diet.
And so we want to make sure that we are teaching Lonnie the appropriate foods to feed him and get the weight off of him in a slow and a safe manner so that he can maintain the weight loss.
Before feed him like 3 scoops a day, but Ellie said now 1 scoop is enough or half a scoop because he must be hungry or something, but he's not hungry. He's just he just loves to eat. So I try to make him, you know, an ideal weight. So it's much more healthier and much more fun too, and easy for me to walk too when it's not too big. Yeah. Good boy.
We also like the hike because the hike takes them to a different environment that's more natural for them, and it's shady and it's cool and polluted water, so they can cool off in the water. It's really unstable ground, so they're always trying to have to use these muscles to stabilize themselves.
It also helps their minds for troubleshooting, to figure out how they're getting up and down off rocks and around roots and various situations they wouldn't normally face. In the hikes that we are going to, leptospirosis is a problem, and we want the dogs to be able to drink the water and enjoy it. So it is important to make sure your dogs are up to date with their shots. Lucky is totally up to date with his, so he's ready to go.
And we also like the beach. The beach is a great place for exercising your dog. It's the water, playing in the waves, being knocked over by the waves and having to recover from that. They're using, again, different muscle groups that they're probably not using just laying around the house and eating grilled cheese sandwiches.
And walking in the sand provides more resistance than walking on a hard surface. So it's a great workout that helps develop different tendons, ligaments, and muscles.
Part of our regimen with Lucky is weekly walks. We go twice a week, and we take him for hour-long walks each time. And on days that we get there, quite often he is extremely lethargic and has to be coaxed on his feet so that he'll get walking. And once he's going, he's fine, but that's just because he's generally a couch potato in his own environment.
I notice he's a lot better now that he's lost 7 pounds. When I pick him up, he's a little more ready to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Lucky loves the feeling of being more weightless in the water. Swimming is another great aerobic activity that's low impact and high resistance.
So this is day 5, and Lucky is complete with his boot camp, and we have gone from 119.5 pounds to 113 pounds. We are hoping that with education that we've given Lonnie, that she will be able to maintain and continue his weight loss.
Before he went to boot camp, he weighed 118 pounds. And on Monday, after the boot camp, he came back, he weighed only 113 pounds, lost 5 pounds in a few days. That's a lot of weight, yeah.
Dogs, as well as most mammals, have fur to keep them warm. But one dog breed has no hair at all. Do you know what it is? Dog with no hair is the Zolo, a breed that's perfect for people with allergies because they don't cause reactions. The Zolo is from Peru and was nearly extinct until breeders came to their rescue in the 1940s. The hairless Zolo obviously keeps cool by playing in the sprinkler, but keeps warm by having a higher body temperature. From a hairless dog, let's meet a breed that's the total opposite. It's all about the Bearded Collie. You may think that there are a lot of different kinds of collies. You'd be right, but the word collie doesn't refer to a specific breed. In Scottish, collie simply refers to any dog that herds. And that's exactly what the Bearded Collie is known for. As one of Britain's oldest breeds, the Bearded Collie was first used as a herding dog for Scottish shepherds. One of their playful characteristics is that they are known for jumping up and down, a trait called the beardy bounce. It looks like they're just happy to see you, but the bouncing is a trait that goes back to their herding days. In tall grass, they learned to jump up so they could see their prey. The Bearded Collie is considered an independent thinker and known as being a great socializer, both with people and with other dogs. They tend to be rambunctious and very energetic and require a good deal of exercise. They also need to be in social situations. If left alone for long periods of time, they can become destructive. But with good training and the proper environment, Bearded Collies are great family pets. They come in a variety of colors, mostly black, brown, and blue, and they come with or without white markings. Their hair is rather rough, but they have a soft undercoat, and yes, they do shed. Because of all that fur, their size is deceiving. They may look big, but adults usually weigh only between 40 and 60 pounds. The average lifespan is about 12 years. If you're looking for a very happy, bouncy dog, look no further than this. And now you know all about the Bearded Collie. There are several breeds of dogs that have long hair that covers their eyes. Is it true that they can see right through it? The answer is kind of. The long hair acts like a pair of sunglasses, allowing the dog to see a little but keeping out strong light. Some dogs' hair, however, gets so thick that they can't see out at all, and they compensate by using their acute sense of hearing and smell. In that case, their hair should be thin. Completely removing the hair from over its eyes, though, can be harmful because the dog's eyes are not used to such bright light. It's always best to check with a vet. When your furry family member gets sick, the vet is there to help. But what can you do when your vet is closed? Feather and Fur Animal Hospital in Kailua is open for any pet emergency 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
I'm Katie Hancock. I'm a veterinarian here at the Feather and Fur Animal Hospital. My position is the general practice doctor during the day, and then I work the later night shifts and overnights for any emergencies that we may see.
So working here overnight is quite a range. Some evenings it'll be pretty slow. Most evenings we have emergencies. In a very extreme case, we have emergencies waiting at the door, emergency C-sections, or large dogs have their stomach twist, need emergency surgery to untwist it. Other times it's a little calmer.
This is Peya. It's a small 6-week-old Labrador puppy that came in for vomiting and also had a little bit of diarrhea while we were in the exam room. As you can see, Peya is a little depressed, a little quiet for a puppy. He's really dehydrated right now, so what we're gonna do is put an IV catheter in, keep him in the hospital overnight, and get him on some IV fluids and antibiotics. And for Peya, it's possible that she may have parvovirus, but we suspect probably another type of intestinal virus or bacteria. So we're gonna cover for all those things with the antibiotics and the fluids that she'll be on.
Despite the yelp, Peya is tougher than she looks. She's a survivor. She's one of only 4 puppies to survive out of a litter of 14.
So we're testing the little puppy's blood on the machine for total counts, and then we've made our blood smear as well, hopefully to give us some insight into what kind of infection and how bad this little puppy has.
Shh, relax. Yeah, you're fine.
Peya will probably be in the hospital at least 24 hours, if not 48, until we can get her eating and drinking well on her own.
While doctors wait for Peya's test results, the action continues in this all-hours animal ER as another tiny patient needs help.
It started last night, and she saw it coming out. It laid down, moved, and that's how she saw the blood, and she kind of looked.
So we just got a call about another emergency coming in. There's a rabbit that has some bloody discharge from around the anus. The owner's going to be bringing that down shortly. So this is Honey Girl. We don't know how old she is that right?
We got her in December. She was...
Right now we're just doing a general physical exam, feeling her abdomen to make sure she doesn't have any signs that her intestines are dilated or have any impaction, which can be pretty common for rabbits. I'm feeling a very small area that might have a little bit of ingesta, feels a little bit more firm. Maybe kind of part of the problem, but a lot of times if that's the cause, they'll be filled throughout. So I have to put a little alcohol on there just so we get a better image. I know it's cold, hold on.
Doctors use tools similar to those used on humans. In this case, an ultrasound is used on Honey Girl to get samples to help figure out what's wrong.
This looks a little cloudy, but not really the degree of blood that we had on the backside. We'll just check it anyway, make sure there's no signs of infection there.
Honey girl. Oh, honey girl. We're gonna give honey girl some fluids to hydrate her. We're just gonna do it subcutaneously under her skin. Bunnies have really thin skin, so we're gonna use a butterfly catheter to prevent from tearing their skin. So my original intention for working here was to offset the financial woes of being a pet owner. But since I've been here, I find that I may commit to going to vet school. The problem being there's no vet schools on island, so I have to move. But I love feather and fur, so I'm staying at this moment. This is a pretty bunny. Oh, he's got like the quintessential fluffy tail.
So we got the results of the urine on the bunny. It doesn't look like there's a urinary tract infection. So right now we're gonna try some antibiotics to target the intestinal tract since the rabbit's still eating and drinking well at home, and see if that helps us improve. Certainly if any of the other parameters change or the owner notices a change in clinical signs at home, we'll have them come back and just kind of assess the bunny again and see if there's any other changes.
The overnight drama continues at Feather and Fur's emergency room. Soon we'll find out about Paya and what his prognosis is. But first, Dr. Hancock has to give her attention to a patient with possible kidney failure.
So Kaleo's a 8-year-old intact male. They found out today that his prostate's really big, so that's obstructing his normal outflow of urine. And we're gonna be putting a urinary catheter in to help diurese his kidneys out. The main differentials for him is just a benign enlargement of the prostate, which we can fix with neutering. The prostate will return to a normal size. One of the first causes we think about in an older dog is just kidney failure, which will usually start to get better once you put them on IV fluids and try to flush out the kidneys. In this dog, he was not getting better with that therapy. And when we did an ultrasound, we were able to find that his prostate was very enlarged. The worst case scenario for Kaleo would be if his kidney values don't improve, and then we'll have to talk with the owners and make a decision whether there's anything more aggressive that we can pursue or if it would be time to consider putting Kaleo to sleep.
It's a tough choice for Kaleo's owners. Non-neutered dogs have a higher risk of prostate infections and other complications involving the prostate. It's something Dr. Hancock says dog owners should consider when deciding whether to neuter their dog. It's not always a disease or illness that has animals visiting Feather and Fur in the middle of the night. Sometimes animals are hurt and are in need of immediate help.
So our next appointment is for a middle-aged dog that got into a dog fight earlier today. Has a pretty open wound, so we're going to check that out and see if it just needs some antibiotics and time to heal, or if we need to do a closure on the wound. It looks like for now we're pretty lucky. There's a lot of vital structures in this area, a lot of blood vessels, and obviously the trachea as well. But it looks like it's just below the skin there. I think we got lucky. So, but I'll be able to tell more once we're doing the procedure, because I'll be able to poke around in there a lot more and make sure. With dog bite wounds, they have curved teeth, and they basically will try to grab and shake. They cause a lot of shearing that's underneath the skin. So even though we have 2 wounds right here, we can see that as far as my hemostats go in, the wound extends pretty far up on both sides. We get a lot of what we call pocketing underneath the superficial wounds.
When it comes to dog bites, doctors must treat what they can see and what they can't see, like infections. Even if a bite doesn't look infected, doctors take every precaution to clean the wound and prescribe antibiotics to keep any infection from happening.
So Maka did really well with anesthesia, and we were able to close up the bite wounds. I did have to place a drain here that's going to help close all that dead space, help drain out any residual infection, and help the wound basically to heal down normally.
Less than an hour after the operation started, Maka is back up and alert. A drain has been placed in her wound to help it clear of any infection. If all goes well, Maka should be as good as new in about a week.
It should heal just fine. Well, it's about 1 a.m. Looks like we're finishing up for the night. Everything went overall pretty smoothly, but we'll see what tomorrow has to offer.
But before we go, let's check back in with Paya. The test results are in, and good news, she does not have parvo. which can be deadly, especially to young pups like her. It's just a simple stomach virus, and looking at the wagging of her tail, she's already starting to feel better.